Make one of those medicine ball teas that they used to sell at Starbucks.
Starbucks, yeah.
And now that's my go-to. Oh, speaker's on. That's my go-to in the afternoon.
Okay.
Are we out in the world now? Okay. Can I hit the gavel and make Randy sit down? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Lexington Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. This meeting is being broadcast live on the Town of Lexington's YouTube channel. This board is comprised of town citizens. We are appointed by the Town Council and we serve without pay. We are a legal board operating under the Comprehensive Planning Act of the state of South Carolina. Although this meeting may not seem as formal as a hearing in court, all statements must be true, factual, and not made in a manner to mislead us. Please understand that we must make our decisions within the parameters of state law. State law requires us to grant a variance if and only if we find each of the following four statements true. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property in question because of its size, shape, or topography. These conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit, unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. The authorization of the variance will not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent property or to the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Moreover, state law prohibits us from granting a variance simply because the property could be used more profitably if the variance is granted. We are not concerned with the use of the property. The use of the property is determined by others. We ask that you please confine your remarks to the issue at hand. Should we make a decision that you believe is incorrect, you may appeal your decision to the circuit court within a certain time limits provided by state law. In case that such appeal is made, it is important that the circuit court knows who testified at this meeting. Please sign in on the sign-in sheet and identify yourself before speaking. Thank you very much and welcome to the meeting. John, what is our first variance request?
Both of these items are repeats, so you should be familiar with the issues with both of them. The first one is 2023-7, side yard setback and lot size setback for 329 through 337 Railroad Avenue. Miss Linda Thomas owns a parcel located in the 300 block of Railroad Avenue. Currently, there are 3 homes and a mobile home located on the parcel. They're proposing to subdivide the parcel into 4 separate lots so that each lot can be sold individually. A proposed survey of these lots is in your packet. The property is zoned protected residential. This classification requires a 10-foot side yard setback on each side and a minimum lot size of 7,260 square feet. To be compliant with the protected residential zoning regulations, a side yard setback variance on each side of all 4 lots and a lot size variance on 2 lots in the center on lots 2 and 3 is needed. The board reviewed this request during their December meeting and referred it to the Planning Commission to consider if rezoning would be more appropriate. The Planning Commission reviewed the request during their January meeting and declined to recommend rezoning. That rezoning request went in front of Town Council on Monday night, and they tabled it until you all have ruled.
Any questions for staff?
No.
We know.
If you know what the issues are.
There's no new issues that you need to bring.
Do you have anything to add from last time? I mean, they're familiar with the issues, but you're welcome to speak if you need to.
I just want to.
Please.
No. He's not hearing. Should I sign in here somewhere?
We can take care of that.
Okay. All right, I'm Linda Thomas, the owner of the property. And I just want to say that we have followed every guideline that was put before us. My husband is a general contractor licensed in 3 states. retired in 2 states, and fully licensed in the state of South Carolina. We've pulled every permit, we've did everything that we were supposed to do, and now we feel like we're kind of being punished, so to speak. I hate to use that word for lack of knowing a better word, that we can't do what we want to do and retire.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. I appreciate it. Any questions for the applicants?
No.
All right, we'll discuss. Yes, John?
I'm just getting the sign-in sheet
Okay.
from
Thank you.
Thomas.
We'll discuss. We talked about this last month, and for the record, thank you for going to zoning and talking to them. I'm sorry it didn't work out that way. We're glad, or to planning and coming back. We appreciate you taking that step last month. After looking at this and having some understanding of what went on with planning, I understand why planning said
Right.
no.
Yeah.
That literally could be a detriment to this area. So,
Yeah.
yes. Yep. Well, do I have a motion for this variance?
I can make a motion.
Okay.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to approve variance 2023-7. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to this particular piece of property in question because of its,
Wait, am I supposed to get a second or let him read the whole thing first? I'm
You
new
got to
at
make the
this.
motion before you second it.
Cool, not a problem. Continue, sir.
sorry. Because there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to this particular piece of property, because of its size, shape, or topography. The condition was created before zoning ordinances existed in the town of Lexington. They generally do not apply to other properties in the vicinity because the residences own the property, have been there for decades, and would not meet current town or zoning ordinances. Because of the conditions, the application of the ordinance to this particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. Without granting this variance, the residents would not be able to purchase these homes, thus providing affordable home ownership. And then the authorization of a variance will not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent property or to the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. This variance would improve the public good by allowing the current renters to remain in their homes, which will be able to purchase and become homeowners with no effect on the surrounding property. The only thing is that I want to make this conditional, that if the current dwellings are ever removed, torn down, or destroyed, or if any new structures, are built on any of the properties, they must follow all the ordinances in place at the time of new construction.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes.
You have your variance. All right. Our second item tonight, John?
Witness stops waiting, so they can leave. They all have to hang around.
I already hugged him.
There's our hug from up here.
They're usually not this nice when we drag it out for a couple months.
Yeah.
Yes, sir?
It's like this guy that just got out of prison. He said it's nice to be able to hug another man and know it's not going anywhere.
And there's that. All right, John, you got to follow that.
I can't. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Oh, mercy.
I love it.
Excuse me.
Oh, and would you tell him what we also just did?
This will go before planning commission this month, so we'll
We just incorporated another section of
railroad.
Excellent.
Mr. Brad Brody with Storage Units Lexington LLC has requested a variance from the connectivity of parking lots for commercial development requirement. Section 15405.10J of the Land Development Ordinance says new commercial development projects must connect to existing parking lots. The approving authority can refuse zoning permits or project approval on the basis that the project does not connect to existing adjacent parking lots. This project began construction with a permitted site plan showing connectivity to the adjacent shopping center. The adjacent property owner objected to this plan and provided an alternative that is unacceptable to the applicant, which is prompting the variance request. This item was deferred in December to seek additional information about possible other traffic enhancements that could be considered.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
Good evening. I'm Tom Britt with HB Engineering, representing the development team. First, I want to thank the board for allowing us this opportunity to find an alternate solution, because that rarely happens at other municipalities. We listened, of course, last time and focused in on the right turn lane. And I think, as you know, that's on the town's list of needed traffic improvements. We think that that right turn lane will have much greater impact and benefit to the area than connecting our parking lots. We met twice with town staff, Mr. Hanson, Mr. Edwards, and we think we've come up with an approach that can be agreeable to everybody. We are proposing to do all the work associated with the right turn lane to get it to the point of construction. That work would be right-of-way acquisition, surveying, utility coordination, engineering, and permitting. By doing this, this project, which I think is currently number 6 on the list, would probably move to the top. In addition, we would also record an easement so that the property to our west in the future will have legal right to connect when conditions allow that to happen. We hope you'll consider this and vote favorable.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Britt? Is anyone here to speak against? We'll now discuss. I'm pleased. I think the conditions that they're under, that we talked about last month, are insurmountable, is maybe a word.
Right.
Unless he's
Definitely
hiding,
unreasonable.
unless he's hiding a huge amount of money in somewhere. So,
Bridge.
I agree. I think they've gone above and beyond. And
Yeah. Came back and did exactly what we asked of them. So that's good.
perfect. Well, I will make a motion. Where's my little cheat sheet here? I'd like to make a motion to approve the variance for, I think this one is
-8.
-8.
Yeah.
Condition on the completion of the offered transportation improvements by the owner. If this variant, I will add this variance will expire should there be a change of ownership or usage on the adjacent property. So, and I will make this variance based on the fact that the extraordinary exceptional conditions due to the adjacent property owner's requirements to establish connectivity. Also, number 2, the conditions do not generally apply to other properties in the vicinity. The topography of the adjacent property creates difficulty in creating connectivity. Because these conditions of the application ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property with the variance, without the variance, the property would not be able to be developed. And finally, authorization will not be a substantial detriment. The offered transportation improvements offered by the applicant would offset and mitigate any potential transportation concerns that are addressed by the ordinance. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote.
yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
You have your variance. Thank you. I don't know if you heard what he said, or what just said, but thank you for listening to us last month, and thank you for figuring something out. We appreciate working alongside.
John, thanks a lot.
Approval of the minutes from last month.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion, the minutes are approved. Do we have any business from staff that we need to know about?
We will have a meeting next month.
Okay. Is it something fun? Did you see?
The one that I remember is not particularly interesting.
What will be the date of the meeting next month? On what day?
Thursday.
Discuss it after. All right, if we have no other business, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.